Hello everyone. I've assumed people are watching this now, which is pretty cool. Very cool. Thank you very much. I very much appreciate it. Watching me make stuff up and play games, which I'm awful at tactical, so thank you. But today we're going to play possibly our final instalment of Dungeon Hero, the adventures of Ivar, who is a Viking who has to be allowed to stay with a tribe over the winter. We have agreed to assault the fortress of Frost Giant Jarl, who in the last episode I said, doesn't Jarl mean leader? It is, it means chieftain. Chieftain, or that position, that high up position. So this is probably fortress of the Frost Giant King or the Frost Giant Chieftain rather than the name Jarl. So over the last two I've been misdoing that. Awesome game. Awesome game, very small, zine format. It's playing very well. Already had 2 sessions out of it, but we can get into it. I have my dice. We left our last session with Ivar, who set off with 7 Vikings and the Viking chieftain from the small settlement that Ivar had stumbled upon by climbing over the fence. We are now down to, from the 7, we have sadly lost 3 Vikings, down to 4 Vikings remaining, assisting us. The last one died in the location where we are at the moment, where we are in the armory. Hopefully the things coming up that I've been doing has helped. I will do that for this one as well. I'm trying to play with the setup a bit more, which means doing more editing, but hopefully it will look better, and I'm quite enjoying it, surprising myself. So anyway, back to it. No diverting. So we're in the armory at the moment, and we need to roll to see where our next advance is. We just sadly lost a Viking who was skewered by a giant sword, who the Viking had bravely attempted to step up and collect for the chieftain. And we are now going to, we're in the actual, actually I didn't say that, we're in the actual fortress for the Frost Giant Chieftain. And so we are trying to find the chieftain for a battle. We'll see how long it takes. We are on entry, so we have, I don't know if you remember, so the adventures are, is that focused? The adventures are set up as a series of statements that you go down. This adventure has 74 statements. We are on statement 47, Armory, and we need to roll to see what our next statement is. I have all my dice, and we don't have a despair dice needed at the moment, but I do have my red despair dice. So let's see what our next advancement is. So where we go to, so we're in the armory. We have jest. So there was a big noise was made as our Viking warrior companion was skewered against the wall by this massive oversized sword. We can't get him off because it's made too much noise. So let's see what occurs. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, D10 war room. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that goes to 51 war room. So what happened was the armory made such a loud noise, and we failed to deal with that we just quickly hurry out after trying to rescue him. He has died. The shock of the injury just he passed away instantly. So we stumble out of the armory, and we stumble into a large room with multiple doors coming out of it. So we enter into the war room. We have now lost almost half of our Vikings, the last death being incredibly traumatic. We see the plans. We enter into, and it's very much the Game of Thrones table, war room, so they're set up with everything, and we can quite easily see that the chieftain's village, so that the settlement that we've just come from is on this war room. It's being targeted, and a lot of the Vikings who are with us are beginning to get very agitated and very concerned that this may be futile, that this may be pointless for us to actually attempt to even to battle. Somebody said, we should return home, collect our families and go see if any of the other settlements we can band together with them. We should just abandon this and just move forwards. And so Ivor will stand above the table and attempt to give a speech to the rest of the Vikings who have come with us. So this is definitely a usage for, so what was that? That's a D10, D10. So our war room is a D10, and where's the other black D10? There he is. So it's D10, D10. So we have our winning beard, which is a D6. And maybe the strength, a strong arm, maybe the ability, so the strength within the Vikings. So this Viking is a very, so our Ivar shows how strong he is and how determined with his winning beard, attempts to say, no, we are here. We can defeat the Frost Giant. We must move forwards. Don't leave now. We will move forwards. So hopefully this works. So this was Armory and War Room. Oh, that's not good. Oh no, that is good because we've got the 8. So we're the winner. Oh, I was looking at the black as us because it was on this side of the roll. So Ivar stands and delivers. Do not fear. Do not back away. We can do this. We can win through. We cannot leave ourselves bared open. Otherwise, no one will ever be safe in any settlement. The giants will take the whole of this land from us. And other wordly speeches. So successfully, the rest of the Vikings stand firm, and the morale is lifted, and they decide that this is time for them to move forwards. We check out the map. We move some things around on the map to try and spoil their plans. 1. Oh, here we go. Look at this. Huh, it's almost as though I read ahead. Okay. So we're in the war room, and so 1, it goes to 52, which is plans for conquest by the Jarl, which is another D10. So that again is D10 for the war room, D10 for the plan. So this is us attempting to disrupt the plans. We're going to move stuff around, hide some of the figures, carve in, bugger off, Jarl, and we're attempting to defile. That was a lucky roll then. We're attempting to defile the plans and just ruin the plans for the Jarl. Okay, that is a cocked dice, but it was almost on a 6. I mean, if it was me, I'd make myself. Oh, I'm going to re-roll this one. Yay! Re-rolled a 6. So, luckily, the heist from the Jarl is a 6. Our heist is a 7. So we successfully disrupt the plans. We're moving the parts around on the war room table. Focus all the forces against an enemy settlement that we've been having troubles with. They cheated us. They sold me a cow double the normal price. And when I got it home, I found out it was a goat with a horn on its head. I mean, you can't treat people like that. And so we're sending all the troops towards that settlement instead. And then we're satisfied that we have completely ruined the Jarl's plans. We then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so this goes to a new plot point, which was actually the plot point. So I shall read it to you. Now sit down. Are you feeling comfy? You find your way to the throne room. The Jarl sits on his throne of ice, glowering. You need to sneak up on him. So now we roll again. So this is just to remind you. So whenever we reach, can you see that this little padlock? It's a plot point, which means that if you roll either onto the plot point or beyond the plot point, you come back to the plot point and you read that plot point, and then you roll again for the advancement from that point. So this is like we're in the final act, the 3rd act. This would be the 5th act. We're in the 5th act. Let's see what happens. So we're in the throne room. We've come through. We've got all big tapestries hanging on the walls of the giants during ancient times, having feasts, pictures of families celebrating, all giants in mountaintops. And the xenophobic mentality of these Vikings. Oh, those darned giants living lives. 6. We're on 62. The Jarl barks orders. All right. So we've still got plans for conquest, which is a D10. The Jarl barks orders, which is another D10. Okay. Okay, we're sneaking around. See, what have I got? So we'll do a D6 because determination sounds good. I could do, so I've got D10 can take the cold because it does say he is sitting on his throne of ice. So we assume this room must be icy cold. Okay, I'm going to work the system a bit and I'm going to choose a D10 for me. Where's the companion? D10 for me. So we are utilising Ivor's ability to take the cold, which is a D10. What did we have? And determination, which is a D6. For Ivor is attempting to get everyone to quietly sneak through this humongous throne room, which also has a table set out. I don't know why, but I visualised it instantly as a feasting hall with a throne room at the top. So maybe we'll do that. Maybe let's have that, because then there's people within the room setting things up and doing things. And as we're sneaking around, one of the let's make it the Shield Maiden, because I've mentioned the Shield Maiden before. So the Shield Maiden that Ivor attempted to stand fast with is sneaking around. She's quite young, and this is one of the biggest things. You know, she's been out on a few raids, but this is majorly beyond her skill level. This is beyond her training, because we're all trained to do sneak attacks against Frost Giants. And so she is attempting to sneak through, and if we fail, then we can say that she knocked something over, and then we can use some stamina or some resolve to say that we grab it or whatever, or otherwise she's about to and we stop her from doing it. So basically we're trying to get everyone to sneak up upon the Jarl, and he barks some orders which scares us and knocks us off. What do we got? Oh, it rolls a 10. So we have a 6 versus the 10. So I may use a stamina. So at the moment, Ivor is on 6 stamina and 15 resolve. So if we took that as damage, we'd be taking 4 damage. Or I can use 1 resolve to reroll this 10. And that's probably better because statistically speaking, we're beating on this. We just need this to get less than a 6 and we should be alright. So I'm going to drop down to 5 stamina now. And we will re-roll this 10. To a 5. Outstanding. So we're sneaking, and she comes out of one of the tapestries because we've been trying to dart from tapestry to tapestry. And as she attempts to do one of the serving giants is near her tapestry. So instead she tries darting around it. And as she goes to dart around, she's about to knock a big golden jug full of wine or mead. It's mead because there's steam coming off the top of it. They've still got to keep their tummies warm. And as she's about to do that, Ivor quickly reaches out, grabs her and slides her back on behind the tapestry, just in time to stop someone noticing. So that was the Jarl barks orders, which was a D10. Oh, another 6. Okay, so that crosses our final plot point. You are there. Fight the Jarl and then escape. Advance to 6. Okay, so this says advance to 64. So we go straight on to 64. So we come through the tapestries. We've got the Jarl barks orders, which is a D10. And then we have the Jarl, which is a D12. We use that D12. Which is a D12 plus 1. So this D12 is plus 1. So we jump out, and at the moment, that's what we do. So basically, because it's only the Jarl there, we will utilise our shield because we get a plus 1 for our shield against Frost Giants, and we'll call upon having our axe as well. So try and get everyone we get everyone orchestrated to the top end. We wait for the servers to leave as the Jarl is on the throne room on his own, just for the briefest of moments. And as that happens, we shout, "Now!" but in Norse. And we jump forwards and attempt to fight the Jarl. Sorry, I didn't tell you. The Jarl has a threat of 24. So we dive out and we attempt to initiate battle with the Jarl. Oh wow, that's pretty good. Catching the Jarl unawares. That's the 4, isn't it? Catching the Jarl unawares, dropping him down to 20. The shield maiden proves her worth by diving forwards, basically catching him off balance, knocking him to the side as others of the warriors charge in, and we then swarm the Jarl. Oh, cool. Oh no! Well, it's got a 12. If I spend a stamina re-rolling the 12, I mean the probability of it rolling another 12 is low, so otherwise we'll take 2 damage. I think at this stage we will spend the stamina, dropping to 4 stamina, and re-roll this. Ah, yay! So that 5 drops out and the 6 drops in. So we have 4 difference. The chieftain, seeing this is where he needs to prove his worth to the warriors, as well as prove to this Jarl that we will not be defeated by the Jarl, steps forward, doing what accounts to 4 damage to the Jarl, reducing the Jarl to a 16 threat. The Jarl now steps down off the throne. Oh, I've not been adding 1. I didn't add 1, did I? Oh, okay, I'll remember from now. Poor old Jarl. Steps down off of the throne, picking up his axe, because now I've remembered it's the +1. Meaning that this is a 7, and this is in fact a 13. Okay, we'll give the Jarl the edge here. So we're going to do 13 versus a 7, so that being a 6 different. Oh wow, actually that's a lot of damage, isn't it? That's 6. That would half. Okay, let's do that. The Jarl identifies either as, even though there's the chief. Oh, okay, yeah. He goes for the chieftain because he never recognises the chieftain. So the Jarl steps up, swinging his giant axe across the chieftain, swinging it down to cut him as Ivor dives into the way, blocking the attack with his shield, taking a massive amount of damage across his arm, maybe fracturing his arm, because that's 6 damage. That is 6 damage, yeah. Dropping Ivor down to 9 resolve. The Frost Giant chieftain begins to laugh and shout insults at us in Giant, and we don't understand what it's saying at all. There's something about being, oh man, that's even worse. Okay, so that's terrible. That's 11 damage. No, it's not, is it? No, it's not. It's 30, that's 9 damage, because our highest is a 4. So I think one of our warriors is going to have to die. Maybe our shield maiden is going to travel. Okay, our shield maiden is off to Valhalla. So as Ivor is recovering from the shock of the trauma to his arm and has backed away, the Frost Giant chieftain takes advantage of this to swing his giant axe again at the chieftain, swinging down as the shield maiden steps forwards, raising her shield to defend defiantly as the axe cleaves through the shield, shattering her shield, cutting through her arm and into her chest as she falls to the ice, blood flowing across the ice. We all are slightly shocked. Does that mean I add the despair dice in now? This is the next roll, because it does say, does it say into its next? Yeah, so it says on the next challenge roll, and then this would be the next challenge roll. So we're all shocked by this. We're all shocked by the loss of the shield maiden who has come with us, trying to learn. Oh, bugger. Alright, I'm going to spend a stamina and re-roll that, because then we've got a match, which means we just re-roll those. Yep, 3 stamina, meaning that our top 2 match. These come out. No more despair dice, thank goodness. And we reroll these 2. 8 and a 2. We are slightly stunned for a while. The chieftain laughs and says something in giant and spits on the body of the shield maiden, which riles us up greatly, and we dive in, battering into the frost giant, doing 6 threat. Is that right? Yeah, that's right. Dropping its the frost giant chieftain's threat down. So that despair dice is now gone. So now we roll again. I don't think I've done that before last time. I think I should have done. Oh, we've got a 13 versus an 11. I mean, I'll pay 1 more stamina to reroll because that's a max roll. Rerolling that. We're now down to 2 stamina. And we've still got to get out of here afterwards. So we're causing this to be rerolled. Damn! Another 12. Okay. So that's an 11. That's a 13. I have 2 stamina left. I can't afford to do that again. So that's 2 points damage, which drops us down to 7 resolve. So the warrior stands firm again. We are tired. We're beginning to tire now as the back and forth of the battle continues, and the cold temperatures begins to get to us. Ivor's resolve is starting to stagger a bit. Oh no! Don't lose again. Come on, big roll. What shall we do instead? Can we do anything instead? Let's switch. Oh no, shield gives us +1. We'll see if this is another loss. We might have to turn to oh no, that's all right. So that's technically a 10. This is technically so that's technically 10. This is a 10. That's a 6. That's technically a 3. So based on that's the highest and that's the highest, we've got a 4 difference. So even though we are knocking it down to 6 threat, even though we are really taking the battering, we are down to 2 stamina and 7 resolve. Ivor builds up his courage, grabbing several of the soldiers, dragging them forwards back into the battle. We continue as the frost giant is parrying with its great axe. Reaches down and grabs a giant stall and begins to use that also as a makeshift shield, but not before we have cleaved between that, doing 4 damage, doing 4 damage to the frost giant, reducing its threat down to 6. Let's trade out. We are now going to just because it says don't keep doing the same thing, because now we've been battling for a while, so it's getting cold. So Ivor will give his shield to the chieftain, which means that Ivor will no longer have a +1 on the shield, and instead he's going to use take the cold, which gives him just a plain d10. Oh, I hope that wasn't stupid. Oh no, that worked out. So that's technically a 2. That is a 2. We have a 6. We have an 8, and this is a 6. So 8 versus 2 means that, oh wow, that's all right. That drops it down to 0 threat. Ivor using the cold. We could have had strong arm. That would have been work, but I didn't roll that one. There's less dice anyway. Rallying himself with the cold. He moves everyone up, handing the shield over to the chieftain. He dives upon the frost giant chieftain, taking up a piece of the broken footstool and beginning to club the frost giant chieftain. The camera will tactically. Oh, we could do like a pan of. We could do like the whole thing where it's like we're not really showing violence, even though we're showing bits of matter splatting against a. So the camera is going to focus on a tapestry of a mother giant playing with 2 children giants as just hold it there for a second as there's a crack sound and a splat of red viscous liquid goes across the tapestry, and then we will come back to our warriors breathing heavily and patting Ivor on the back as he drops this stool leg onto the ground, which it falls into like a puddle of dark liquid. So we will now roll to see how we advance, because now we've got to try and get out of here, and there's a lot of stuff to get through to get out. So we go 3. That puts us to 67, which is D12. So we drop the Jarl. We keep the D10 for the Jarl barking orders. We now have a D12 for 2 blocking giants. So as we attempt to run out of the throne room, we bump into 2 giants, both through threat 12, who are blocking our way out. This may be where Ivor falls down. Ivor is going to snatch his shield back off of the chieftain and ready his axe at this stage. Or maybe actually, because we've just come out of that battle, we won't do that yet. We'll do that afterwards. The first turn, we are going to utilise our winning bid because we're feeling really lucky. And shall we be really, 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 really lucky? And we're going to say utilise the winning bid. Oh, this is stupid, isn't it? This isn't what someone who wants to win something does. And determination. So we're going to try and stop all the warriors from being fearful. One of them's going to die. Being fearful. Yeah. Oh. A 6 versus a 4. I could take 2 damage. All right. Yeah. So I'm going to take 2 damage here, putting this down to 5 resolve. That, and then I'll switch to the axe. So Ivor bumps into one of the giants, taking us by surprise, taking them by surprise, and screams, "To arms!" And then gets rid of those and gets out his shield and his axe for a little bit more of a comparison here. And we are to arms. So this is technically an 11 versus their 8, because this is my shield one with a +1, giving us 3 points. So Ivor squares off against one of the giants, reducing its threat from 12 to 9, as the rest of the warriors pile into the other one of the giants. Oh. Let's do how many stamina have I got left? I've got 2 stamina left. Just burn down to 1 last stamina to reroll this D12. Going down to 2. Nice. So that's technically an 8, but that's an 11. Down to the 2, giving us 9 damage. That's on the other giant. They swarm the other giant, reducing it down to 3 threat. That's right, isn't it? My maths isn't bad. And then we spack off. Hopefully, come on, giants, run away. No. And then we square back into it, and then we back out, shield up, deep breaths, charge back in. What do we got? We've got a matching 8 and 8. And a 6 and a 7. So the 6 and the 7 step out, and the 8 and the 8 re-roll. Might have to use our last stamina. Oh, we could take 1 damage. I'm on 5 resolve, so this is reducing to 4 resolve. So the which has actually got the most hit points. So we're back focusing on the battle between the Frost Giant and Ivor. Ivor is beginning to tire. The fracture in his arm is hurting. The muscle he pulled on his back is beginning to hurt. He's breathing deeply as he just squares off one-on-one with this Frost Giant. That was this Frost Giant guard that had been blocking the doorway. As the others begin to continue their battle with the Frost Giant they're fighting. Oh, they're doing so much better than we are. So what do we have? Their max is a 6. Our max is an 11. Doing 5 points of damage to their giant, has only got 3 left. So we'll leave that as just they do the 3 points of damage on their giant. Their giant succumbs to overwhelming force as they begin to shield batter. They shield charge, shield batter. How many of them left? 3 plus the chieftain. And then they turn to assist Ivor with the battle that Ivor is going in at the moment. The battle of Ivor's life, quite literally, because he's running out of resolve. Alright, so we've got, so that's technically a 7, but we're a 10v10. So we'll move everything out of the way. So as they charge in, the giant is ready for them, stands firm, and they batter against him. Doesn't seem to do much damage, but, oh, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's a 3 difference. That would leave us on 1 resolve. But that means we're going to have to start throwing. We're going to have to start throwing warriors at things, because we've still got a good load of things to go through. Or we could use our last stamina. No, because that's so I think we're going to take 3 resolve at this point, leaving us on 1 resolve, which means we can't use any more resolve. But we have got warriors who can throw their lives for the greater cause. What have we got? This is where a warrior is going down, isn't it? So I think we've got 1 stamina left, which we can use up, and we have 1 resolve left. So I think one of the warriors is going to throw himself into the path of this giant and attempt to defend against this giant. It's not even that much damage he has to take. Oh, I suppose it's 5 points. So he sacrifices himself. So let's see. The giant will grab one of the warriors as 2 of the other Vikings step back, firing longbows, and the warrior will grab one of the warriors and just drag him across the ice, and 2 arrows, friendly fire, hit this warrior in the back. He makes a gurgly sound, and then the frost giant just casts him aside. And with anger, we rush in. 1 point. 1 point's 1 point, isn't it? A point's a point. That's an 8 as well, isn't it? Technically speaking. We rush in. Still knocks him only down to 8 threat. We rush in with furious rage. All 2 warriors, chieftain and Ivor, rush in with furious rage. Attempting to overcome this guard. Yay! So we've technically got a 5 and an 11 versus its highest, which is a 5. So 6 points difference. It's still standing. This is a fanatical guard. It's fanatical about the chieftain, the Jarl, and how he will stand firm for the Jarl. And we then try our final time just to succumb, just to overcome this giant and his fanaticism. Oh, 1 point. No, that's technically a 9. So a technical 9. Look at all those 7s. A technical 9 versus its 7 is 2 points difference, which is what we need. So as this giant, standing, breathing deeply, muttering to the old gods under its breath, we overpower it, battering with the shields and with axes and with clubs, trying to succumb it, as we then turn to our fallen comrade and tend to his wounds. But sadly, we were just too late. The battle raged for too long, and that warrior has passed on to feast with his relatives in the great halls of Valhalla. So we roll for an advance. A 3. Oh! Okay. This is another battle. Oh, I think Ivor. I don't know if Ivor's going to see this through. So that battle went on for so we're on 1 stamina and we're on 1 resolve. So that battle caused an alarm to be. If we do get a roll of number 1, that's another one. Otherwise, we could just get out of this. If we can survive this battle. So we've still got the Jarl barking orders, which is a D10. We now have the alarm is raised. I don't want to fudge this, but I shouldn't really. This is one of the things also, doing this in front of camera keeps me honest. Where two other guards now come rushing due to the noise that occurred in this antechamber. They come rushing through. They also are D12 guards. And they also have 12 threat, 12 threat. Breathing, taking a deep sigh of, oh, why didn't I become a florist? Ivor picks up his axe, wipes it on his breeches and says, fine, and charges forwards. Nice big numbers, come on. What have we got? We've technically got a 10 versus their 8. Steaming into the first guard. He reduces its threat from 12 to 8. Knocking it back against the wall as we swing with a fast cut across to the last two warriors and the chieftain, who are now attempting to fight against a much younger, smaller. He's much younger and smaller. So hopefully that is where this dice are going to play along with me. Not quite. So for 1 point, see, 1 point resolve will kill Ivor. Ivor will have given up the battle and will also be dining in the halls of Valhalla. But if we roll, oh, that is a D10. We can pay our last stamina to re-roll that D10. Okay, so our camera had cut across to the warriors who, with the chieftain who are squaring, and at that point we hear a scream off camera and quickly slide back because we can see the giant about to punch Ivor with massive gauntlet on. Oh, okay. Well, we've got two choices here. We either end Ivor's journey, which would be about right for me, or one of the guards says, "No, Ivor, no, you cannot die," and dives forwards into at the giant with his gauntlet. He turns and with a massive uppercut punches this young, overly eager Viking warrior. There's a crack and we see his head fall in an angle that it shouldn't as he falls over to the far side of this antechamber. And the audience is starting to feel as though this is going incredibly badly for our Vikings, and it may be one of those Lovecraftian type tales where we have one Viking, no stamina, and one resolve. We're going to have to lose our last Viking. We're going to go down to the wire. We'll go down to the wire. I mean, we've taken the Jarl, but another person will come in. So our final warrior. So as we turn back to the other battle with the chieftain, we can see that the final warrior is at the chieftain's feet, and the chieftain is standing, shield and spear, trying to stand firm and trying to fight against the final. Okay. Well, I know how this is going to end if it ends. I've just got the picture in my head. Fighting against the final guard. Technically a 9, an 8, but they roll a 10. All right. I think sadly, as we see the we have Ivor and the chieftain are battling as hard as they can and are slowly moving across the room, to end up back to back, shield against shield, fighting against the two guards, overcoming the two guards, defeating the two guards. They breathe deeply with a sigh of relief, hands on knees, as the large doors that lead into the antechamber, the huge ornate wooden doors that we've only been in the background up until this point, crash open, and we can just see a hallway full of ice frost giant warriors and warrior maidens and other such folk who begin to pile into the room and wash over Ivor and the chieftain, and we'll have a downer ending. At that point, our camera, this is 40 minutes. At that point, the camera will cut back to the settlement, which is on fire and empty, and we can have a small child's teddy bear looking slightly charred, laying in the snow, all forlorn. And that is then the end. Almost got to the end. We were 1, 2, 3. We were 4 away from getting our final plot point. That is the end of Dungeon Hero Frost Giant Fortress of Frost Giant Jarl. That is awesome. That was very, very awesome. I can't remember the name of the author of this, sadly, because I'm not very good at stuff like that, and I should really have written it down. But brilliant. I will put into the link at the bottom where you can find these. That's great. Hopefully one day I will successfully finish an adventure with someone alive. Oh, I did a Notorious with someone alive. But anyway, for now, that is the end of Viking Ivor. His job is done.